Hello, my name is Kathy Slatt, and I want to tell you about a form of quantum software that can help you create the reality you desire. And you see, here's my website, here's my phone number, and there's quite a bit of information on my website as well as a blog that is posted just about every day. But beyond that, I'd like to demonstrate the software and show you what you could do for yourself with it. First of all, we're told that we have the ability to create our own reality, that we actually operate as biocomputers and can input and interface with the variety of information around us in multiple energy fields so that perhaps this could be a reality. But this is often what ends up, and people say, I've done all the right things. I've prayed, I've meditated, I've taken care of my physical body, I've done good works, and yet my own reality is full of suffering. So what's going on? And that's what I'd like to share some thoughts about today. And I'd also like to point out the work that quantum software deals with something called the etheric field, which is this little pink diagram right here. The etheric field is known as your blueprint or template. And interestingly enough, some people think of it as the aura, and they think the body produces the aura. It's actually, from what I've read, the opposite. Your etheric field is the template for your reality as you know it on this plane. So if you'll hold a couple of these concepts in your mind, let me demonstrate a form of software known as the SRC for you and just give you some ideas on how you could use it for yourself. This is the icon right here. When you have this software, it downloads onto your computer, and by double clicking this icon, this is the platform that appears. And of course, you can put your name, your family member's name, anything, as long as you have permission. And of course, I work on myself and my daughter, and I have people that come by to have some balancing sessions. But I also have a client group that has subscribed to a daily energy clearing, and that's what I'm going to demonstrate the software with today. So at the same time, they can see their session for the day. One of the interesting things about this work is I can give people a 100% guarantee it's not going to hurt them. And that is actually because each individual is running this program as it pertains to them. We're going to start with an optimized connection also, which means if there would be any block in proceeding, this software just wouldn't continue to work. So let's see how this turns out. I push the optimized connection, and now we're just going to go ahead and clear. This is going to clear my field and their field as well. And if there would be resistance, the software just wouldn't proceed. This light would come over here. You see client's resistance to help, and this light would come on and everything would stop. And of course, the people in the group have already subscribed, so that does give permission. But beyond that, if I were going into a territory that weren't appropriate for them, the software simply wouldn't function. So in reference to our reality creation, because we operate as biological computers, we have had a ton of information downloaded into us. It actually starts at conception, where we download the beliefs of all of our ancestors, both sides, and then from birth on, our environment takes over. And we're downloaded from many sources, just, parental and the rest of the family, school teachers, religion, etc. The media is a huge source of downloading. And then beyond that, perhaps there are some intentional downloads by those that want to control us. And here are some examples. These are some of the main categories of downloads that may cause us to create a reality that is far different from what we want. And we'll go over these. You are defective and therefore not whole. You are lacking in the essentials of what you need to get along in life. You are dependent upon the people and institutions around you for all your needs. What you see is all there is. What you have been told is all there is to know. You are born into a hostile universe. Nothing lasts. You can never know. And everything that can be known is already known. Now, all of these are lies. However, when they're imprinted in us as seeds, we can be then creating these things. So I'm going to show you how you might work with the SRC for you to get some information and then do some clearing. Okay, so when you first look at this platform, some think it looks very basic, others think it looks complicated, but the truth is it's extremely user-friendly, and a person could give themselves a stress management session each day by just pulling it up in the way I did a while ago and hitting the Wonder click. But there are many more applications, and I'm going to show you today the dowsing application, which I'm going to reach by just hitting Show Tool tabs. With this panel, you have many different options and tabs here, but we're focused at this point on the dowsing tool. Now, a lot of people dowse with pendulums or rods or perhaps their body, and that's all well and good. Many are quite skilled, but the truth is, working with the matrix, which is what you're doing when you're doing the dowsing, can be skewed. It can be skewed if you're dehydrated, or if there's a lot of electromagnetic frequency around, or perhaps other people's thoughts that are throwing you off. However, when you do dowse with a computer software program, that doesn't seem to be the case. It's all based on math, and by the way, that's our whole universe anyway. Everything around us is formulas or codes that if we can access the information, we can then do some amazing, powerful, positive things. So I like to set the dowsing tool up. I like to start by putting left spin in, because on a subatomic level, we do understand we should be spinning to the left, and many things can throw this off. So we're just going to go ahead and enhance that. Now, everyone, as they use this software, develops their own technique. So I'm sharing mine, but those who do own the software might have totally different approaches. You can't do it wrong. And then I like to check hydration. Okay, and again, water and our amount of hydration is more significant, I think, than we realize. So we want to, and that's another example. Once you get that information, you can then perhaps focus on drinking a little more water. And then in the group, someone suggested putting in will to live, because on a subconscious level, sometimes we may be wanting to check out, and sometimes this is seen in the way we live our lives, the way we eat and take care of our body, etc. Let's see where we are as a group. So we're high today on that. This is balanced out every day in the group. So we're looking good there. And then one last one. The Chinese say that the true culprit in anything in your life, whether it be physical illness or anything else, is self-hate. So I like to measure our self-love. We're pretty good there. Let's just enhance that. And let's just go ahead and add this to our options box, which you can see. I'll just pull this down. If you can see a little bit, it's added. But now I want to look at some of these core mass consciousness beliefs in reference to the group. And we're going to look at a percentage at this moment in time of the stress related to this. If the percentage is 70 or higher, then we're going to do some work to clear it. And also our awareness will be very powerful. So the first one, you are detective and therefore not whole. And that's low. So we're going to clear that. We certainly don't want to enhance it, but we know that's not a target for our group at this moment in time. The second is you are lacking the essentials of what you need to get along in life. You can see I just pasted these in. 33. Now again, the group gets energy every day. And so far, so good. This one is you are dependent on the people and institutions around you for all your needs. That's very low for the group. what you see is all there is. And what we've learned through the technology that can now measure these energy fields around us, we only see about 0.1% of our reality. So let's look at that. And that again, under 70. And I would think this particular group would be aware of this because they've joined the group. Just the very idea of that knows they believe, or shows they believe there's more to what we see than what we see. And of course, we always clear these things. We sure don't want to enhance them. But the next one is what you have been told is all there is to know. This is an interesting one because we have been programmed in so many ways. And one way they say you can tell if you're operating from a program is if you get angry when someone gives you conflicting information, because the way we should operate is when new information comes in, we should be able to analyze it critically. If you get upset, or whether I mean fearful or angry, that could be a program. Again, for the group, not a lot of stress. This is you are born into a hostile universe. Again, not a point of stress. And again, we clear, and let's put in nothing lasts. Very low. So I'm pleased with the progress I see. In a moment, once we finish these, we're going to go a little deeper though. So again, we clear. And now you can never know. Again, very low. And finally, this very last thing, everything that can be known is already known. And a very low. You see, this group receives energy 7 days a week. So apparently, this is not nearly the source of stress in creating their reality that it would be for other people, because when I work with people on an individual level, these are very high percentiles. So let's go a little deeper with this. Here are a few even deeper, what they call seed phrases, and this is not all that different from actually programming a computer. So there's the fear of death, the fear of being annihilated, the doubt of deserving any kind of protection or anything good, the fear of the unknown, the fear of being without help, the fear of abandonment, the fear of not getting basic needs met, the fear of punishment, and the fear of becoming guilty and being shamed. So again, let's see if any of these need to be cleared for the energy group. Okay, so again, clear. And there's the fear of death. All right, so you see this is a very strong seed in most of us, although when you study the quantum and if you study your spiritual teachings, you see that's actually a lie. It does not appear that there is an actual death. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over here to a panel called Chin, right here, and this begins the work of inverting patterns. So let's put that in here. And by the way, we are incredibly manipulated by the fear of death. So let's clear that. We don't want any of this going over here in this box, even though I want to explain something else. The software would not process in an accelerated version or enhancing version because that would be programmed in not to do that. So you can't really make a mistake. But let's clear that. And now let's go the fear of being annihilated. About a 52, it's higher, but it's not over the 70. But remember, if we are carrying memories of ancestors, I'm sure this is something that has happened somewhere in our ancestral line. Okay, clear. Now this is the doubt of deserving any kind of protection or anything good. 95, look at that. So we definitely want to clear that. So far, that's the highest one. Remember, this is all subconscious. When these seeds are planted, very often it's early in childhood, or it's perhaps through the media or something, and we're downloading and we don't know it. Okay, clear. Then we have the fear of the unknown. This group is not at a 70, so we'll clear that, but you can see that that would probably be a fairly common fear as well. Okay, clear. And then the fear of being without help. Again, a 63, these are approaching 70, but they're not our top priorities. Okay, clear. The fear of being abandoned, or the fear of abandonment. Again, low for this group. Okay, clear. The fear of not getting basic needs met. And now this is another one that can really manipulate people. 41, so again the group is this is not one of the higher ones. Okay, clear. The fear of punishment, another huge stress, and that's still low for the group though. And the last one, just for this short list, the fear of becoming guilty and being shamed. That's a 90. So these are all mass consciousness beliefs that can keep us from creating the reality we consciously desire. Looks like I tried to put that in several times and it went, but didn't show me at the time, so I'm going to erase those two. You would be surprised, perhaps, at how many people have a subconscious belief that if they ever really get what they want, they'll die. It's amazing. And so all of these are things that now, let me just get that in there. What we're going to do is simply set this to the max, which is 20 hours. We're going to start this. Wait a minute. There we go. And we're going to be doing some clearing in reference to these seed beliefs that may keep us from creating the reality we desire. Now, if you have your own software, you can check this from time to time because your energy field flows. And they compare this. One of the interesting comparisons, if you get a chance to look it up online, is the bamboo tree or plant, and how many years it takes of nurturing and watering before you even see a sprout. But once you see it, it just explodes. It's a very interesting analogy to working with the unseen and through persistence harvesting huge results. So now we're working very gently to clear these patterns. Remember, this is not with the physical body. This is with the etheric field, and we're sending energetic imprints of this information, but we've got information on the side here that we can have in this panel. And let's just now hit the wonder click. And our field flows. So as you see some of the information here, our field is working to clear these patterns of stress. And the idea, once they're cleared, our voltage goes up, and we're also much more receptive to this infinite information that's here for us. So it's wanting us to thrive. And this perhaps is the human condition, is that we don't realize this. And okay, so look at that option selected matrix. We're wanting to work with that matrix. This is all subtle. It wouldn't be diagnostic in any way, just information, which anything that relates to stress. And look at our little words to ponder. Okay, so what's the speed of dark? We're thinking, the group is thinking, handling life's events, difficulty concentrating, sentimental, all these things, psychotherapy, these are all things, lack of motivation, all forms of stress that we are now working towards clearing. And that is just one of many examples of what you can do with the SRC for You software. I thank you so much for watching.